Hello guys, and welcome back to another educational video. Today I'm going to be covering how to set up your character for PvP and for Arena. Most of what I'll go over applies to any class, but since I play a hunter, I'll also show you how these add-ons and principles work specifically for hunters. We'll get into customizing your UI, some of the Blizzard's default settings, understanding what focus target is, how diminishing returns work, how to track them, how to play around them, how to track your cooldowns, enemy cooldowns, party cooldowns, what best add-ons to use along the way. I'll also show you some quality of life tips along the way, and by the end of this video you should basically get a very good idea on how to set up your character for Arena and how to better understand key mechanics every PvPer needs to pay attention to. Additionally, I've created a fresh marksmanship hunter that I'll be using to climb the ladder in solo shuffle. This MM has no games played on it. It's fresh. It's starting from the depths of Elo hell, and I would like to showcase this live to you guys either via Twitch or via YouTube live thingy. So let me know if this is something that you'll be interested in watching and tuning in to watch live. Additionally, I'll also be posting all of that to the YouTube channel, but just thinking of maybe doing the live stuff as well. So let me know down in the comments below if there's a demand for that stuff, if you guys would like to see that, if you'd like to tune in. And with that being said, guys, let's jump straight into the add-on guide video. So the first thing that I want to get into here is your focus targets. So what is a focus target? If you've been playing this game for a long while, you probably know this, but if you haven't, this is something that you really need if you really want to get into arenas, if you really want to push some higher ratings. You want to have your focus target here. Even in battlegrounds, when you're fighting, let's say, two people and one of them is a healer, you want to put this guy on focus. You want to be able to be hitting your main target here, popping aim shots on him, and this guy, as he's casting something, you can send your kick on him, you can stun him, and as he's stunned, you can trap him, all while, you continue pumping your main target. So having a focus target is really important, guys. That's number one. But a lot of people have specific focus macros for every single ability that they have. I don't do that. I do something else. I go into the main settings here. I go into combat, and you can scroll down here and you can find focused cast key, and you can choose. I chose control. So if I put this guy, this training dummy here on my focus, I could be targeting whatever. I could be targeting this guy here, and if I hold down my control and I click, whatever I press, it's gonna go to this guy. It's really useful when you're like fighting, I don't know, whoever in arena, and you just want to make a hard swap on the healer. You can do this without retargeting him, because if you retarget him, he'll see that you're targeting, that you want to, swap targets. So that's something that's really niche, but I like doing. And while we're on that topic, we also want to get in here and enable target off target, so that you can see who somebody else is targeting. Like this guy, you can see he's targeting the cleave training dummy, which is always good to know. It's good to know who your enemies are targeting. So now that you have this, and let's say you put this guy on focus and you want to, do your focus scatter shot, and you're pressing control 1 and it's not working, it's not working because, well, because I didn't have him on my focus, but it's not working because it's bound to something else. So my spells, for example, my scatter shot, it's on 1. My kick is on 6. My stun is on T. So if I want to focus stun somebody, I need to click Control T. If I want to focus kick somebody, I need to go Control 6. If I want to focus scatter somebody, I need to go Control 1. But what if those are bound to something else by default? So you need to go into key bindings and just remove that. Go Control 1, Control T, Control 6, Control aim shot, Control rapid fire, Control explosive shot, and just remove all of that, and you will no longer have any of those issues. Now you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, you can do whatever, all without targeting the guy, just by holding control. The next thing that you want to do is you want to go into interface, and you want to always show nameplates. You want to always see these. I would suggest keeping them larger, because it's just It just looks better to me. It's personal preference. That's your enemy unit nameplates, and then for friendly player nameplates, I would also suggest keeping those on. But I, for one, I get confused if they are all like this, so I use a different add-on where it just shows the spec of my allied teammate instead of his nameplate. And I combine this with an WeakAura that has, let me show you, I'll share the WeakAura in the description of the video. And what you get is basically this. You see my healer has the healer icon in circle, and then the class color arrow white for priest pointing down at him, and then my warrior has the arms warrior icon on him, and then the class color brown arrow just pointing downwards towards him. Just makes everything clean, easily recognizable, and you can see where your guys are without any clutter at all times. Okay, so let's get back into the interface here, see if there's anything else. We show nameplates, we show friendly nameplates, we show minions. We want to enable this so that we can see totems and mini pets as well. Raid frames, we want to enable this. We want to see power bars so we can see how much mana our healer has. We want to see class color so that not everything is this ugly green color. You can actually see sorry, who your guys in your team are. You want to display their pets, but this is like optional if you're playing a DPS. This is more so if you're doing a healer and you want to see somebody's pet, so that your hunter, if he didn't press his meant pet, you can save the game by healing it. But like I said, this is more geared towards healers. And then arena enemy frames, we're just gonna disable this anyway later down the line, so no need to bother yourself with any of this. One thing from the UI that I actually like to do is I like to bind my ping. I use the MMO mouse, so I have the luxury of having that extra ping here. So when I'm fighting somebody, when I'm in solo shuffle, when I'm in open world, when there's no voice comms, I can ping the guy that I want to go. It's really helpful. So just something to keep in mind. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is BigDebuffs. This is something that you should have if you're doing PvP. It's not 100% mandatory. I'm sure that some of you crazy guys can pull it off without it, but it's a game changer for everybody who I know install this add-on. And it's a simple, lightweight add-on, and whenever there's something important happening to your target, you basically just shows it next to your to the plate. So if he's CC'd, if he's stunned, it's gonna show. If there's something else happening, if he pops an offensive cooldown, it's gonna show. If he pops a defensive cooldown, it's gonna show. If there's an immunity on it, it's gonna show. You get the thing. But how do you actually optimize it well? So you need to type in /BigDebuffs, and you need to go into priority. And you can basically copy this priority here, and you'll be fine. So immunities like Paladin Bubble, Mage Ice Block is going to show right on top of here, same as spell immunity. So Blessing of Spell Warden from Paladin, for example. And then I like to put crowd control right below that, and then we have our interrupts, defensives, offensives, yada 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 yada. It's all here, but this is the priority list I use. It's basically the one that they have. It's just top to bottom. That's BigDebuffs. It's really good stuff, and you should most definitely have this in your arsenal of add-ons. The next add-on that I want to show you guys is BetterBlizzFrames. BetterBlizzFrames. So first and foremost, as soon as you open this, you click Hide Arena Frames. This is going to hide Blizzard's default UI frames, which is just beautiful. I don't want, them over my minimap or anywhere else. This just hides them, which is really good. Also, you go into here, buffs and debuffs. This is the most important thing that I use this for. And you can see the whitelist and the blacklist. So blacklist basically takes out all the unnecessary buffs that you would usually see when you click on somebody and just hides them. So when I click on him, I just see what I need to see. Also, for the whitelist stuff, it can you can click this important or a checkbox and make it glow importantly. What this means is basically that it gets a glow around itself, and it's a bit larger if you click this as well. You can also use this to track your own stuff. For example, now, let me show you how it works. I press concussive shot and it's bigger on it because now I know that the slow is on him and it's about to expire, so that I can refresh it amidst all of my other ones. But if there's an explosive shot, it's not as important. Mortal wounds effect, it's there. You can customize it to your liking. But the most important thing why I use this is, you remember us talking about big debuffs and how if I was to stun him, my stun would be shown, but it wouldn't also show his defensive next to it. So I could be hitting, even though a target is stunned, and I'd be sinking damage into it. If he has like a wall up, I'd rather not be hitting him, guys, So also, when, for example, Corpse Campa uses his wall, it's going to have a nice little glow right below him. Aspect of the Turtle as well, Feign Death as well, so his defensive cooldowns are going to be highlighted here. And now you might be thinking like, oh, Snipe, like, are you insane? I'm not gonna go and do all of this, inputting all this manually here. I got you, bro. I got you. You don't have to do this. You go down here to the import export and you just click import or a whitelist, and you click import or a blacklist. And the creators of this beautiful add-on have already done all of this for you. So everything you see here is like basic part of the add-on itself. You can also, like I said, customize. You can remove or add any that you want or don't want to see, but that's totally up to you. The next add-on that I want to talk about is Sarena or Gladius, whatever your preference is. And what this does is basically, when you go into Sarena and you click test, you get this when you join the arena. You get your Arena 1, Arena 2, Arena 3. And this is how I set mine up. I have Trinket right above the class icon. I have the spec right next to this. And then I have the diminishing returns here and their cast bar here. I have a ranged kick, so enemy cost bars are important to me. I know a lot of people have them right below this. You can customize this according to your preference, but I have them onto the side a bit just so I know what I need to kick. So if there's like a shaman I'm playing against and he's casting Hex, I can kick that more easily because I'm going to notice it. Because I played it with the cast bar being here. Not a huge fan. Not a huge fan. But, I mean, totally up to you. And then the DRs, of course. Now, some of you might not even know what DRs are. Basically, DR is diminishing return. If I was to example scattershot this target, my scattershot lasts 3 seconds. But if I then consecutively trap him as well, it's going to be 3 seconds only. Whereas if I trapped first, my trap would be 6 seconds, and if I scattered second, my scatter would be 1.5 seconds long. So guys, following DRs can either win you games or lose you games. I can't tell you how many times I've played with a Windwalker Monk in my team in Shuffle where he just randomly incapacitates the healer, resetting my trap DR and loses me the game instead of just waiting for me to do the CC and, chilling. Also, if you're playing with a sub-rogue, for God's sake, let the guy do his stunts and make his own setups. I'm going to post a full list of spells that share diminishing returns with one another. Stuns share diminishing returns with one another. Disarms share diminishing returns with one another. Incapacitates and then fears, cyclones, and all the rest share a different DR. I'll pop a list down on the screen somewhere. While we are on the topic of DRs, I want to show you a different add-on called Diminish. Now this shows diminishing returns on yourself when you get stunned, and it also shows diminishing returns on your target. So Sarena, like I said, shows them, on the arena frames, but Diminish actually shows them on your target as well. So let's say I have this PvP training dummy in front of me. If I stun it, you're going to see basically the stun right here. So just something to keep in mind with the Diminish. And also you can see them on yourself. So Why that's important is, let's say you're playing against a rogue mage priest, a good old-fashioned RMP or an FMP with a feral instead of a rogue. So anytime you are off stun DR, you know it's danger. So let's say you're playing, you're doing your thing, and holy shit, you see your healer got CC'd and rogue is horny for you. So what you do, you can pre-wall that stuff. That's gonna save you like a many times, guys. It's gonna save you a lot if you learn how to pre-vol shit. It's gonna like get you to another level. But the best way to pre-vol stuff is to actually know to recognize their setups, and one of the best ways to recognize their setups is to actually understand when you are coming off a DR yourself. So that's Diminish. Now, how do we track enemy cooldowns? So on our S-arenas, we can add a line of CDs on top of every one of our enemies. And how do we do that? We installed this beautiful add-on called SweepyBoop. And you test this, but the test is only showing Arena 1 only. Arena 2 and Arena 3 will be automatically set up just as the tooltip says. So the enemy cooldowns are going to be on top of these, on top of S-Arena stuff. You can customize that. You can pick and choose each and every class what you want to put there, what you don't want to see there. Just make sure not to track too much and to actually figure out how to track different things. What I track here on SweepyBoop, I track major cooldowns. So Iron Bark from Resto Druid. I track bubbles from Paladins. I track big goes like Metamorphosis from Demon Hunters. I track all of the wild from Beast Mastery Hunters. Like the big cooldowns, I put them up here, so just so it gives me an orientation as to what enemy has spent, what we need to go through, and when their next big go or their next defensive spike is going to be. Now, there's a lot more cooldowns that you can track in this game, and just putting them all in here is something that did not work for me. So you could probably see these from the start of the video. CC, World PvP, Short Goes, World PvP, and Trap Avoiders, World PvP. So this is a different add-on called Omnibar. Now, Omnibar is basically enemy cooldown tracker. And I have these three that are activated in World PvP, and then I have the same ones activated in arenas only. And as you can see, CC, I basically track CC. So Death Knight, Blinding Sleet, Asphyxiate, Demon Hunter, I put the stuns in there. Druid, I put Bash in cap. Monk, I put in his Disarm. I put in the Leg Sweep. Rogue, we have the Kidney Shot, etc, etc. Short Goes, like the name says, I put in the short goes and some of the big ones as well, because I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't do that, but I do it. Pillar of Frost is in here. Demon Hunters, I-Beam, and Essence Breaker in here. Paladin's Final Reckoning is here. I put in, I think, Rogue's Shadow Dance and Shadow Blades as well. I mean, you can customize it to your liking. That's the beauty of the add-on. And then the Trap Avoiders is something that's hunter specific. So I put in everything that can mess up my trap here. So Anti-Magic Shell. A lot of DKs play the AMS on their allies. So if you stun their healer, they're going to AMS them. So if you see that this is on cooldown, you can safely trap. If you see that it's ready, you can kind of stun him, give him a second, and then see if he AMSs him. If he does, you can then scatter and then trap afterwards or something. You can play around it. Reverse magic. You as a hunter, if you stun and you go for a trap on the healer, if it lands, I would suggest a scatter shotting the Demon Hunter if he has this up. In an ideal world, of course. Druids, I don't think they have any. Monk has a revival, which can immune your trap. They also have the Transcendence Transfer. So trapping a monk is not easy, but if you get good at it, you can outplay them. You can, as I've shown in my guide, you can scatter him and then trap him afterwards. You can play around with your Chimerial Sting with your stun just to leave him in a like 12-second short CC chain, like 3 second, 3 second, 3 second, etc., etc. Paladins, a red can sank your stun. If you go to stun trap the healer, if they're quick enough, they can sank that first stun, giving the healer just enough time so that he can move out. You want to track this shit because, like I said, I mean, Blessing of Sacrifice. If a Holy Paladin has this up, don't trap him. It's going to break from damage. This is basically their trap protection. If they have this up, don't trap. Wait for it to end or you're going to waste it. Priest can mess up your traps in 2 ways. They can either fade your trap or they can shadow or death it. So just something to be mindful of. Shaman can ground your trap. Also something to be mindful of. And I think that's it, guys. So that's trap avoiders, short goes, and then CC that I want to track. So SweepyBoop plus this is how I track enemy cooldowns. And the last cooldown tracking add-on I want to show is OmniCD. This is going to show your teammates, your arena guys, cooldowns. So you want to see this, you want to track if your healer has any cooldowns that they can save you or you need to use your own to live. You can also track your friends, friendly DPS's cooldowns. Like, you don't want to trap if you have no damage and your teammate has no damage. Ideally, you want to trap when you both have at least like your short goes, when you can get some pressure going, when you can make something happen. But it's also very good, like, most important for me thing about this is that I can see my healers cooldowns and I can see what they can use to save me, and I know if I need to press my stuff or I don't need to press my stuff. That being said, guys, if you play a lot of solo shuffle, there's a fine line between knowing this and then relying on that guy to actually heal you, because solo shuffle is crazy. I'm sure if you played it, you know how crazy it can be. So you're going to need to be mindful not to let this get to you in a way that you get stressed. You open your whisper and you start talking trash to the guy. You're saying, man, you had your goddamn pain suppression. Why aren't you pressing it? I had my wall, but I trusted. Just press your stuff, man. This next add-on gets a bad reputation because out of the box, it's disgusting. All of these are enabled and you're getting audio notifications about each and every single spell that's being used, that goes off, that starts casting. It's a nightmare. It's a ADHD fuel. If you have some mental condition and you install this, I'm sure there's some experts out there that could tell you why you shouldn't do it, because all you're gonna hear about is this stuff. So, but let me just take this off. Okay, Jesus. But if you customize it to only and only give you audio cues about spells that you give a damn about, it's really, really good. I use this for spell casting, something that I want to react to quickly, and that is Demon Hunter's Hunt. I can scatter it, I can stun it mid-air, I can do a lot of things, I can meld it. Cyclone, I want to kick that stuff. Sleepwalk, I want to kick it. Polymorph, Ice Wall, Ring of Frost, all very kickable spells. Song of Chi-Ji, kickable. Paladin's Rep and Searing Glare, Hex. That's something that I use it for, and I also use it to show when a buff is down, because as MM, you're a ranged chunker, man. You're chunking people, and whoever doesn't have any defensives on them, he's a victim to you. And whenever there's a defensive cooldown that goes down, I want to know it. I want to know when IBF is down. I want to know when Blur is down, when Nether is down. I also have meta here because I don't need it. Incarn, Tree of Life, it's down. Obsidian Scales, Time Dilation, Shroud. This used to be relevant. Season 2 no longer is. Turtle, I want to know when it's down. Ice Block, I want to know when it's down. Alter Time.
Down.
See? Alter Time, down. Then Fortifying Brew, Live Cocoon, Bop Bubble, Spell Warding, PS Dispersion, Ray of Hope, Cloak Evasion, Shaman's Astral, Cheflock Wall, and then the Die by the Sword thingy. So, customize it however you will. This is how I customize it myself. Next up on the list is character stats and interface. I use two add-ons. I use DejaCharacterStats and I use TrueStatValue. So Deja just gives me more stats that I can showcase here, and then TrueStatValue gives me this nice panel to the side so that I know if I'm in DR range or if I'm not in DR range. So my verse is just about there. If I got, 544 more verse, I would be getting into the DR. So every next point of versatility I get would be reduced by 10%. So I wouldn't get one more verse, I would get 0.9 verse, etc., etc. And you can see this in my mastery because I have a metric ton of mastery. I'm into the second DR actually. So every new point of mastery I get is going to be reduced by 20%. So I will most likely not be going any more mastery. I'll be speccing into, well, not speccing, but I'll be itemizing into versatility, and I'll be itemizing a little bit more into the haste, because if I get 1,000 more mastery, it's going to be 800 more instead of 1,000. So we don't want to be, flushing them down the drain, guys. Next add-on I want to talk to you guys about is FrameSort. So I just installed this. I don't mess with any of the settings, because if you do mess with the settings, you will need some special macros. There's instructions here if you want to get into that. You can see instructions on how you can make these macros, but I just installed it so that my character is always at the top of the group. So when I use my party 1 and party 2 macros, I can use them effortlessly. I don't get confused by my own position, and then I have to, do some mental calculations to figure out who's party 1 and who's party 2. Now, if you don't even know why I'm mentioning party 1, party 2, it's because of these two add-ons. Not add-ons, but macros, for example. Roar of Sacrifice, your defensive cooldown, which makes the target uncrittable, can be cast on party members as well. So instead of, in the middle of the fight, me trying to click on it and then clicking on this and then clicking back to my target, you can just make a macro like this: target party 1, Roar of Sacrifice, target party 2, Roar of Sacrifice. And then I have it, my standard roar of sacrifices on V, and then Control V and Alt V, I have party 1, party 2. Same thing for my freedom macro. So when a Boomy, for example, solar beams your healer, you can use this to quickly get him out of it. You can put it here, or you can put it here. The reason I have it like this is because Master's Call was bugged last season, but usually this is how you are going to go here. Just gonna go with Master's Call, and then Master's Call 2. And this is the macro you're gonna have. So Control Q is gonna go on my party 1, Alt Q is gonna go on my party 2. WeakAuras, the controversial boogeyman of add-ons. So I don't know how I could explain this add-on other than you can do everything in here. Like, it's so open-ended that you can do a myriad of different things. For example, I have a very useful WeakAura. Whenever my healer is CC'd in Arena, it plays a sound. Let me show you. It plays a sound, plays a sonar, boop, and this pops on my screen. And I know my healer is CC'd, so I know that I need to do this. I need to get away from there. Another thing that I use WeakAuras for is to see how much time I have left on aspect of the cheetah so that I know I can move with my aimed shots. I use a lot of these to basically show when my rapid fire is ready, when my explosive shot is ready, when my freezing trap is ready, when my scatter shot is ready, etc, etc. I also use it to show when a rogue uses a subterfuge, when they just leave stealth, you're going to get an audio notification saying subterfuge, and then you can just scatter that guy if it's an assassination rogue and he uses his big garots and cheap shots. So you kind of stop a lot of his damage like that. And this is one of the best WeakAuras that I use. It's the defensive group. Any defensive that I have on me is going to be shown on it. I'm going to get my wall, my turtle, my feign death, my roar of sacrifice. And you can see it all here. So if a healer puts pain suppression on you, or a rest druid puts an iron bark on you, you know not to overlap it with your other defensives. Like if you have a guardian angel on you, and you know that you're not gonna die, you don't need to turtle even if you're low health, because you know that that stuff's gonna save you. It just helps you so much. The next add-on that I always install is SafeQueue. It basically shows you the time you have until you can join the queue, and like if you're browsing auction house, making a new transmog, whatever it is that you're doing, you can actually see how much time you have before you join. And yeah, that's a pretty lightweight add-on that I just like to have here. Now, another lightweight add-on that everybody was asking me about in the MM guide we made is the RangeDisplay, this bad boy up here. You can have it above your current target and above your focus target, and it basically just shows the amount of yards that you are away from your focus and your target. Now, why that's important is so many things, man. Like, first and foremost, you as a marksman, you have this mastery thingy, where based on your mastery, not only do you get more damage, you also get more ranged on all of your abilities. So I can stand about 50 yards away from the guy and I can still be cranking him. The more mastery you have, the more range you have. This is insane. And most classes, they can only hit you up until 40 yards, like ranged classes and warlocks. So until you get to about this point, they can't kill you. They can't touch you. Like, all of this, you're safe. Now, besides that, if you want to take it even a step further, if you're in Battleground, you can go Sniper's Advantage, which just gives you even more yards. When you press your true shots, you can go to like 55, almost 60 yards away and just rain terror on the guy for the entire true shot duration, which is busted, if you ask me, especially for like Battlegrounds and shit. If you're playing like casual stuff, you just want to stay safe, sit back and just rain on these guys, like, you can definitely do that. But in arenas and everything, I wouldn't spec into this. I would go into the other PvP talents that we have. Additionally, like a lot of gap closers, like what's it called, Warrior's Charge, Feral Charge, Rogue's Shadow Step is about 20 to 25 yards. So anywhere from here up until here, you can get charged. But if you know you're fighting like a warrior or another melee, you can stand here, you can keep your concussive shot on them, and if you see that they're about to break that 25-30 yard distance, you can disengage just to keep that distance, and you can keep, you know, pumping them. Good stuff. Also, when you look at your focus target, a lot of CC, for example, Cyclone is 20-25 yards, so he can cyclone you up until here if he's like a rest or druid or something. But if you move away, he cannot really do that, so you're in the safe range. And how could I make an add-on video without showcasing details? So, details is this panel that you can see here, I have healing done and damage done. I used to have damage done and healing done, but since I've started recording a lot of shorts, this just falls into the frame nicely so that I can have my damage done right next to my spells, and I can showcase that as well. It's totally up to you. You can have a lot of different things. You can check deaths, so when you die, you can click here and see what killed you. You can see, of course, healing done. You can see damage taken. You can see crowd control done, crowd control received, which is really good if you want to talk crap to a guy in solo shuffle. You see he only pressed like 2 cyclones and he's a balanced druid. You can go in here, crowd control done. You can click on his name and you can see he did no cyclones. You can open up the window and say, man, you didn't do any cyclones. What the hell are you doing? And you can get banned real quick. That's like a suspension speed run. But you can do it. You have that information. I mean, it's totally up to you. We have free will, so you know, you do you. Also, as you're doing damage, of course, you're going to be able to see what actually hit the target. So let's do some damage here. Bam. And now you can click into here and you can see what did damage during this period. You can see how many casts it had, how many crits it had, how many normal hits it had. So my rapid fire, you can see casts 1, normal hits 13, critical hits 3. Down here we can see our volley, casts 1, how many hits, etc, etc. You get the point. Same thing with the healing, but I'm marksman hunter, so I won't be showing that. Also, a lot of you guys have been asking me about how I made my combat text look as pretty. So what you need to do is you need an add-on called Nameplate SCT, this guy. And basically, as you install it, you're going to get this nice thing here. You can customize it, how quick the animations are going to be, what font it's going to use, etc. There's a lot of customizations in here. I didn't change it too much because I like the default one. I think I just reduced the size by a tiny bit, and I'm using everything else out of the box. Also, as I'm doing all of this, to the left side of the screen, you can see what I'm pressing. This is an add-on called TrufiGCD. It basically shows everything that I'm pressing. It's very useful if you're recording your games. I have this because I am recording my games and posting them to YouTube, but like if you're not, tracking your own global cooldowns might be redundant for some of you. But what's not redundant is you can click on whoever and you can see what they're pressing. So this druid is spamming Star Surge, Wrath, Wrath, and you can see it all above his nameplate. We can take a look at his mage and we can see Comet Storm, Ice Lance, and then he's spamming Frostfire Bolts, Flurry, Frostfire Bolts, Ice Lance, Ice Lance. I mean, you get the point. You can click on whoever and you can see what they're pressing. So when you're fighting somebody, you can actually see all the global cooldowns that they're pressing. And all of this is customizable. You can move this around. I have it right above the thing. I also have it right above my focus target. I don't pay a lot of attention to this, but I just have it. Why? Because, I mean, why not? For the target, like a specific thing that you could use this for is if you're a Night Elf, and you're fighting a warlock, and you can see he used his mortal coil, you can not feign that, you can shadow meld that, and you can shadow meld storm bolts as well. You can do a lot of things with it. You can see when somebody pressed it. For example, rogue CCs your healer, and you can see shadow dance spam, you know, to pre-wall that stuff, etc, etc. So a myriad of uses. Now these next 2 add-ons aren't really PvP related, but I think they're still good and worth showing. One of them is Better Wardrobe. So if I go into my appearances, I get this thingy here. I got a lot of my saved stuff that I can showcase. My transmogs here. They're here. I have the extra ones that you cannot see without the add-on. When I get into the transmog stuff, I have many more sets than I usually would. It shows incomplete sets as well, not just the completed ones, and you don't get a lot of this. Also, when I'm having something on my character when I'm having the dressing room thing, I can right click like an item off of it, and it's just gonna, take it off. It's a good add-on. I like it. You don't need it, but I mean, of course you don't need it. But it's good. Like when I click into here, I can pick and choose aspirant, gladiator, elite. You can do a lot of that. Like I can see this new set that's not even in the game as of yet, but I can see that is going to be added because the add-on has it, and I can click it. I can link the item. It's here. Yeah. And another add-on that's similar to this one for all you transmog lovers and shit is Narcissus. Basically, you get this nice UI when you click into the button. You can take a look at this. It just shows my stats really nicely. I can go into the photo mode here, and it's just going to show my transmog instead. You can, for example, hide the player and just have this handsome motherfucker over here. You can also hide the equipment slots, make it all dark. You can play around. You can add you can add NPCs. You can add talking head. Subscribe to the channel, boys. You can do a lot of things, but you can also add animations. You can also make him like walk, and you can add some badass music in the background if you want to. So whatever you want to do, you can do. A lot of like open-ended stuff with this add-on. I know a lot of our peers and those weird Goldshire folks use it, but if you just utilize this with care, with caution, you won't fall down that rabbit hole, guys. But definitely an interesting add-on worth checking out. And that's the end of the video, guys. So I hope you picked something useful today. To quickly recap, we covered focus targets, diminishing returns, what they are, how to set it up, how to track them on your arena frames on Sarena or Gladius, how to track them on your targets with Diminish, how to track enemy cooldowns with SweepyBoop, with Omnibar, how to track party cooldowns with your OmniCD, how to use WeakAuras, how to use audio cues with GladiatorlosSA, RangeDisplay, etc., etc. A few transmog add-ons. So I really hope you picked something up, something useful from all of this, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, all the standard stuff. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought about the video. And most importantly, let me know what do you think about Marksmanship Hunter climbing from 0, like a fresh MM, no previous games on it, all the way up to 24 plus, showcasing those games. If you'd be interested in watching that on Twitch, I'll be uploading that to the YouTube channel anyway, but if you'd like to tune in live to see this on Twitch or even live on YouTube, who knows, let me know also in the comments down below how you feel about all of that. And thanks again, guys, for watching this, and I'll see you in the next one.